Uh, hey, hope you guys are doing well. This is just gonna be a quick beginner-friendly video in C++, uh, where we will code a simple calculator. Hopefully, through this, you'll get an idea of how we go about this, and I'll assume we understand the absolute basics of C++. That is, includes and the skeleton structure or the entry points for a C++ program. That's what I mean by that is int main. But anyway, so this calculator is simply gonna perform four arithmetic operations. We're gonna do addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. We will also implement this in a slightly friendly terminal, command line interface, quote unquote UI, just so it's easy to use. But yeah, let's get started, and yeah. So first things first, we will have to have our includes. In this case, we need to include our input-output stream. This is IO stream. The syntax is these open angle or crocodile brackets, if you want. And here we don't need to include string really. So, let's just set up the skeleton, the entry points. We'll do so int main return 0. Remember, it's always good to at the end of your main function, your int main, to conclude with returning 0. This means that if everything goes all right, the program is completed with a success code. Sorry, just having a sip of something. Okay. So, first thing we need to do is declare some variables. And here we will declare our operators. So we'll go, and we have to state the data type here. Char operator, and then we'll also declare the values that we're gonna have. So here we're gonna use the data type double, because this will include decimal points, whereas if you use an integer, you cannot use your radix values or your floating point values. So double, well, let's say value, sorry, I started with value 1, and value. Okay, let's actually put on separate lines for clarity purposes. Double value 2. Okay. What's the issue there? Char. That's fine. So we shall do this. Now we shall we'll take the user input. Sorry, you can see I'm very slow here. I haven't really scripted this out or prepared anything. But yeah, let's get started. First, we need to get the we'll get the prompt from the user. So okay, well, we'll make this a clean interface. Let's do out sanity out new line 1 2 3. Okay, new line enter um operator, and then we'll specify what available options we have. This is plus, minus, multiplication, or division. Okay, I did not hold my shift there. Let's just know minus. Okay. And then we're not going to do end line because we want the user to enter the operator on the same line. So standard C in, this is how we get our input from the user operator. Okay, that's fine. Now we'll get the values from the user. So we'll give a prompt. Well, let's do this. Okay, let's do new line again. New line. Enter first value. Okay. And then we'll get the input for the first value. I didn't put a quote there. My bad. Always remember, not a quote. Every statement you make in C++ should have a semicolon at the end of it. Continuing, we'll get value 1 from the user. There is a much more efficient way to do all of this, but I think for beginner's sake and teaching sake, we shall um uh, we shall use this approach. Getting our second value input from the user. Now let's see out. Okay, value 2. And that's perfect. Now we'll perform our computations. So let's just do this. 1, 2, 3. Arithmetic logic. These double slashes that are grayed out, they are just comments. So we'll use, well, okay, I think for a beginner, we'll just use if statements, conditional if statements. Better here in this case to use a switch case, but that's okay. So let's tackle the first thing. If operator is equal to Yeah, my eyes are blurry. I should really enlarge the fonts. So I'm just putting an underscore here because in front of the variables because it looks like operator is in fact a reserved keyword in C++, and you cannot name your variables uh, with reserved keywords. So here we'll say if the operator is addition, we will simply do this. Again, let me do it next line once. Standard CL. So actually, you don't need to keep typing standard colon C out or well standard colon or anything. If you use namespace standard, I'll perhaps explain that in another video. But it's generally best practice in to not use namespaces like namespace standard. So here, let's make it easy for. Okay, yeah. Let's do your results. And we'll embed the calculation into our output statements plus value 2. Okay, so now that's our logic for addition. Else if now we'll put our logic for subtraction. Here we'll go operator is equal to the negative character. Then, well, let's just copy this to make it simple. Okay. Mm, Include here with the else, meaning if the user chose an operator that is not either addition, subtraction, multiplication, or division, we'll turn, well, we'll state else. Mm, Now let's just change this to the respective operators. Multiplication will be an asterisk. This one is division. However, there's one thing to be careful about here in division. Um, we cannot actually divide by 0. Did I misspell that? Okay. Yeah, my bad. My typing is just bad tonight. Um, I'm just reading out well. Do mind me. And that's a square brackets again with the blurry eyes. Okay. So invalid that and that. And just for an easier to view internal thing, we'll just do standard T out, some dashes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. What do we name this? Let's just go. And then standard and all. Okay. This should be pretty much it. And now we'll just test the program. Um, let's go to terminal here. We'll save the code here. I'm using Command S. Windows would be, I believe, Control S. So yeah, let us build the executable program. Our build command is g++. Um, so for beginners, we'll just use g++, file name, basic calculator .cpp, and we'll name the executable as, well, calculator. I think we don't want to keep that name too long. And yeah, now it's built. We can see that we have an executable here called calculator. So to run that, you would go dot slash your executable's name, calculator, and let's see how that works. Enter operator. Let's go for addition. So I've selected that. First value, well, let's do 1. Second value, 2. And our result is 3. So it seems like everything's working perfect. However, we will see that if I run the program again, and then I would like to do division, if I say 1, and our second value would be 0, in this case, denominator, it says your results in infinity. That's because you cannot divide by 0. So we'll just put another statement here. If value 2 is equal to 0, we'll simply so like this. You know, okay. This piece right here, let's just build this again. G++ that. Okay, no errors. And now if we choose our division and go 1, 0, it'll say you cannot divide by 0. So yeah, that is pretty much how you build a very basic and simple calculator in C++. Hopefully this was something that you could kind of grasp the flow of and improve your understanding in. And yeah, we'll continue some more C++ projects, but I will catch you then. You guys keep well.